it used to be the mantra of like, you get 3 years, right? Yeah. You hire a coach, they come in, they don't have their guys, right? Then they get a first recruiting class under the belt. Now they have some of their guys. And it's not until year 3 that it's really like their program. That's BS. That's not happening anymore. Hello and welcome back to More Steam. No long intro for this one, frankly, because I'm sad. The bye week is both coming at a good time and a bad time. And I don't really want to talk about Tennessee because I don't have to. There's no game this week. So I have Nico back with me, and we are going to talk about anything but. We're going to talk about college football playoffs. That's what we'll start with. And we will get into a little bit of the coaching carousel, as they like to call it. Something that Dalton wanted us to touch on a little bit earlier, but we were going to wait for a separate segment. That segment is this one. And here we go. Nico, Vols are out of the playoffs. That sucks. And but the show must go on. We have 3 more games, so we will cover 3 more matchups. That's New Mexico State, at Florida, and after Thanksgiving, Vanderbilt. What?
The bowl game.
Well, that too. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying we have 3 more scheduled games. Figure it out, Dalton. But right now we're talking about playoffs. And we can come at it from a completely unbiased look. Because, well, the Vols are out, and, well, Penn State's been out a long time, and those are the only 2 schools that you and I have any sorts of ties outside of the Chattanooga Mocs. And spoiler, they're out of their playoffs too. So we are coming at it just from a couple of young dudes in their 20s talking about college football. So here we go.
Hey, man, that's what it's about.
That is what it's all.
Unbiased opinions, as close as we can get.
From a couple of ball knowers, this is what we're going to do. Let's get into it. We talked some predictions a couple, I guess, close to a month ago, but we've reshuffled those. We're just clean slating it. Let's get started. So we got 4 weeks left. Obviously, Vols are on a bye week. Some teams still have 4 regular season games left. There's a lot left to play. I think there's probably, statistically, there's probably no teams with like 100% chance of getting in. Like, things could go wrong, but let's just, the elephant in the room. There's plenty of teams that are like shoe in the playoffs. Yeah. So how do you want to start? You want to start top down?
Yeah, top down.
Let's just go. Well, lead us off. Let's see what we got.
All right. My number 1 team, and I'll reveal my number 3 team because at the end of the day, it's the winner of a specific game.
Right. Yep.
Number 1, Ohio State. Number 3, Indiana. I think the winner of the Big Ten championship is number 1, and I think the loser ends up being number 3. They're both 1 and 2 respectively right now, and they're going to be undefeated when they go into that game.
Yeah, Indiana's not losing another game. They're just not. I think a lot of fans still have kind of a connotation towards just Indiana. You're like, wait, Indiana's good at football? No, they are, and I think if you took their logo away and plastered like LSU or Florida, just because we were just talking about this, we'll talk about the coaching carousel later with them. You'd be like, okay, yeah, like they're probably the number 1 team in the country.
The thing is, like, we're saying that they're still number 2.
Oh yeah, no one's had any disrespect, but I think even last year, they went 11-1, missed out on the Big Ten championship game, and then just got mowed down by Notre Dame. They're much better than that team, who completely deserved to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But was kind of the odd man out. Like they were just a nice story, but no, Indiana is a dang good football team, and yeah, they're at Penn State this week.
They
probably they got Wisconsin, they got Purdue. They're a 12-0 football team. In Ohio State, plenty of people are talking about them. They're the number 1 team in the country. They're a buzzsaw more than anything else. I love calling teams a buzzsaw because it's such an awesome comparison. They're at Purdue, which historically is a hard place to play, but they're terrible. They play UCLA, they play Rutgers, and then you got the game. The game.
I don't think Michigan is any good, but granted, they weren't last year. So, obviously that game can go anyway, but I think Ryan Day finally gets his first win in that one, and they also finished the season undefeated.
I think so, too. And you're calling Ohio State Big Ten champions 1 and 3. I actually have the exact same ranking, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to go out on a limb and say your number 2 team is your SEC champ.
Yes.
Who might that be?
Alabama Crimson Tide.
I didn't even so far we're 3 for 3. That's pretty cool. Hey, okay. So your number 2 SEC champ, which just sucks, man, because we had them week 1 getting beat by what we thought was a decent Florida State team. Florida State's now terrible. So, I mean, they are on it. Bama's on an absolute roll. I think they keep rolling. They don't really have much of a schedule left. I mean, the Iron Bowl's kind of a wash at this point.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bloodbath. Number 4. Again, this wraps out the buys this year. Same playoff format, different rules. You know, your top 4 seeds are the ones that get buys, so it doesn't have to be necessarily a conference champ. Who's your number 4?
My SEC runner-up, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh, okay. I have Texas A&M here. I don't see them losing, and they honestly can afford to drop a game because they haven't lost one yet.
Yeah.
Walk me through that. Georgia's number 4.
So it'll get explained as we drop down the rankings of this, but I think they win out.
Okay.
I think they get into the SEC championship game, and I think they lose to Bama. But I think when you're looking at, those top 4 teams of Ohio State, Bama, Indiana, and Georgia, they're not going to get punished for losing in their conference championship. Like Indiana will get punished in one spot because of Bama, but I don't think Georgia is going to drop if they lose to Bama. And for that reason, I have them at 4. I think they get Texas this week, and then the rest of the way is, not too bad. They get Georgia Tech, but they're better than Georgia Tech.
100%. I'm with you. I love that, but I'm going to go out on a limb. You're calling for Texas A&M to lose.
I am.
So, like I said, that's my 4th team. Let's see. What do we do?
So who do you have Texas A&M losing to between Missouri?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Hey, we got it. So Texas A&M's my 4th, and then I'm just going to go straight through. I got 2 more SEC teams following them. I got Georgia. I like them winning out. I just think Texas A&M does too. And then I got Ole Miss at number 6. They're winning out as well.
Okay.
We talked the first time we did this whole conversation. Ole Miss had a little bit of a back-to-back juggernaut. They played Georgia, obviously lost that game, completely blew it, and then they beat Oklahoma. So they're through the meat of their schedule. They will be favored in every game, and they should win the rest of their games.
And they should
they're
win
in at number
handedly.
6. Yeah, 100%.
I go Oregon 5.
Okay.
Ole Miss 6.
Okay.
That's what I got. And then 7, pains me to say this, Notre Dame.
Okay. I'm with you on that. I got them at 8. And I mean, it's a crime because of where they're currently ranked, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because they're at 10 right now. They're going to win out. I thought Navy was going to be a game. Navy's terrible. They're really good. They just haven't, they've played terrible teams. So, I mean, going against Notre Dame is going to be nothing.
Yeah, they're good, but Notre Dame's going to beat them badly.
Yeah, Notre Dame's got nothing on the schedule, so you can't drop them, right? I mean, if they don't lose a game, you can't drop them. And here we are, another 10. I guess were they 11-1 last year? I don't really remember, but 0-2 to start the year.
I think they were 10-2. They lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah,
and I think somebody else.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, starting 0-2, they're in the playoffs. I have them at number 8. I have Texas Tech as my Big Ten champion at number 7. This is a little alluded. We skipped the week ahead. We do have a pretty decent college football slate here, and that's on me for skipping that. But Texas Tech plays BYU this week.
Yeah.
In Lubbock.
So I'll skip my number 8.
Okay.
And I'll go to 9. I got my Big 12 champion, BYU.
Okay. All right.
And this is where my stuff starts to get a little bit interesting.
A little dicey.
I think Texas Tech is going to beat them this week, and I think BYU is going to beat them in the Big 12 championship because they're undefeated with a game of leeway. Because Texas Tech is the only one-loss team, and then they're undefeated. Mm-hmm. So if BYU loses and then they win out, they're both in.
And it kind of has to happen that way because, well, I mean, if Texas Tech loses this week, well, then they're out.
Yeah.
Really doesn't matter unless they were to win, somehow hang on, get to the Big 12 championship game and win. So you're having Texas Tech win this week.
Yes.
Keeps them in contention.
Yep.
You're having BYU come back, championship Saturday.
Beat them again. Get redemption.
In the rematch. Interesting. So Texas Tech's still here in these rankings? We're going to get to it?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I'll keep going. I had Notre Dame at 8, like I said. I have Oregon at 9.
Okay.
which implies I have them losing a game. And we're doing playoff predictions, right? So I don't have to pick which game I think they're going to lose. But this is their remaining games. They have another one in here. These aren't all, but they're at Iowa this week. Not an easy team to play.
Yeah.
Indiana went into Iowa early this year, beat them by 5.
I have Iowa listed as a dark horse.
Dark horse playoff?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's keep going. We'll get into that in a second. They have at Iowa this week. They play USC, ranked team, good offense, and they're at Washington. 2 years ago, they lost at Washington. Now, that's not the same team, but, I mean, I'm pretty sure Washington's in the top 25 too, not necessarily in the playoff picture, but I would not be surprised if they lose one of those games. They could win out, and then they're much higher than number 9.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Like, putting Oregon at 5 to me was like, do they win out? Mm-hmm. I think they do because I do think they're better than all those teams, but obviously they could lose any of those games. The reason I have Iowa as a dark horse is because, like you said, Oregon goes there this week. If Iowa, does the unbelievable and wins that game, all of a sudden they kind of hold their own fate.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of those teams that would benefit. They don't have a chance at the Big Ten championship game. So, I mean, if they have a big ranked win like that and then kind of run the table, I don't have their schedule in front of me. I don't know who else they play. Dalton's got it.
So, Oregon, Southern Cal, Michigan State, Nebraska to end the year.
I mean, not easy games by any means, but I mean, like you said, you beat Oregon, you can do anything.
Yeah, you beat Oregon, then you beat USC.
Oh, yeah, all of a sudden you got
all of a sudden you're,
Mark Gronkowski and the Hawkeyes are Kirk Ferentz and the boys. That would be something. Yeah. Moving on, number 10, I got BYU. Okay. Again, loser this weekend, loser on championship Saturday. It's my prediction. So I got them at 10. And I'll just round it out. I got Georgia Tech, ACC champ. They lose to Georgia, so that's their second loss. And then they beat Virginia. I think Virginia is kind of that hot hand team right now.
So I put Virginia as my number 8 as the ACC champion, just to cover that. I think Georgia Tech, Louisville, Virginia, I think they can all make the ACC championship. It just depends on who gets there. I think Virginia gets there. I think they win it. That's why I have them at 8.
And I think whoever it is going to get destroyed by whoever they play. Yeah. The ACC is just weak this year. And I like Georgia Tech. It's fun watching Haynes King play football. And the day that he moves on to selling real estate in some great community will be a sad day for me because he's an awesome person to watch. But yeah, the ACC is just really down this year, especially with Miami imploding. I mean, that's crazy.
Do you want to do our group of 5 and then go back to my 10 and 11?
Sure, I like it.
All right.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
All right, I have my group of 5, North Texas.
Okay.
That I think it comes from that conference. I was looking at all their schedules. They all kind of play each other, but I felt pretty confident in North Texas run the table and getting there. And their offense is electric. So I think they beat whoever they get in that conference championship.
They score a ton of points. And if I'm not mistaken, they play Memphis this week.
Yes.
So that, one of us is going to be proved right or wrong really quickly because I got Memphis. One loss. Ryan Silverfield's just a heck of a ball coach. Dalton saying no.
Memphis plays Tulane.
We sure?
Yes.
Are we positive? Fact check in progress. Doesn't matter. No, you are right. They play North Texas coming up here soon. But fact of the matter is we will see. I think Memphis is a great ball club, but I mean, group of 5, man, you only get one bid. You got to win out. There's really no margin for error of them at all. Let's go back. Let's hear this. You've built up a lot of progress here.
Okay, so this is where mine gets controversial. My number 10 team, in the first time in history, 3 lost Texas.
Okay.
And here's why. My number 11 is Texas A&M. I believe Texas is going to lose this week at Georgia. They're going to fall to, 16, 17, 18. And then I think they're going to beat Texas A&M in their rivalry game, who will be the number 3 team in the country. I think when that happens, the committee's going to want to get Texas in. Mm-hmm. They're going to make Texas 10, but they can't have a 1-loss A&M team out, making A&M 11, and then the first team out will be number 12 Texas Tech for the Group of 5 team.
That's awesome. You know what? I want to say something. I have been harping on you to write notes for a while because I know that's what you're capable of. Okay, that's a heck of a take. That's amazing. So Texas loses at Georgia, boosts Georgia's resume even further. Your SEC runner-up is at 3 losses, yet comes back rivalry week and beats the undefeated Aggies.
Yeah,
That point. Whew. Would that loss even? I don't even know what the tiebreakers are because that'd be crazy. Because Georgia, technically, who knows? That would be awesome. And listen, if it's going to be a 3-loss team, it might as well be the biggest brand, one of the biggest brands in the country. Absolutely one of the biggest brands in the conference. That's something. Well, that's it. That's what you got. One heck of a playoffs if either of our brackets work out. I'm going to run through mine really quick. Ohio State is your number 1. You got Bama, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas Tech. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish somehow sneak in. You got Oregon at 9, BYU at 10, Georgia Tech, your ACC champion at 11, and Memphis. Please don't lose. Like, if Memphis just wins out, then none of this matters. But if Memphis somehow catches an L from now until the end of the year, the Group of 5 is absolutely chaotic. We're going to have a 2-loss Group of 5 team in there. Crazy stuff. Nico, let's hear yours.
Number 1, Big Ten champ, Ohio State. Number 2, SEC champ, Bama. 3, Indiana. 4, Georgia. 5, Oregon. 6, Ole Miss. 7, it pains me, Notre Dame. 8, my ACC champ, Virginia. 9, my Big 12 champ, BYU. 10, the most controversial pick on the board, Texas.
3-loss Texas.
11, Texas A&M. And 12, my Group of 5, representee, North Texas.
You know, statistically, none of us are going to be right, but it'd be pretty cool if one of us was. We'll see. Can't bet on it. We'll see. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about this coaching carousel. We'll finish up touching on the week ahead, what we got on deck this weekend. I am young in my college football fandom in terms of plenty of people out there, but I don't remember a year where this many jobs have come open this early, right? Coaches leave, coaches move around, administrators move around, now players can move around. That stuff happens. But I mean, we had 2 big-time jobs, that is UCLA, Virginia Tech, that were open in week 4. And it was barely October. It probably wasn't. I think it was still September that we had 2 big-time jobs. And now, I mean, the seats are even hotter. Some of them were on the interim coaches. You had a great call earlier today. This is the 9th consecutive Iron Bowl. Is it 9 or 8?
I believe it's 9. I believe it's like...
We'll say 8th just to be safe. 8th consecutive Iron Bowl with a unique head coaching matchup. Think about that. So you got, obviously, Saban, now Kalen DeBoer. We snuck in Steve Sarkisian in there because you don't remember that Nick Saban got COVID. He did. And now we're on our 6th Auburn head coach. 3 full-time that got fired, 3 interim. Crazy stuff just for that one game. So that just shows all the things that are going on. Auburn is the most recent job to come open. Hugh Freeze is fired as of like 30 seconds ago. How are we feeling? We don't have to make certain predictions. I got a bunch of candidates that have been thrown around here. But I mean, as we're sitting here today, LSU's open, Penn State's open, Florida, Auburn, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, and UCLA. Those are just the big ones. We're not going to talk about Colorado State because, frankly, I don't care. But, I mean, there's jobs open all over the country, and we're not done yet.
Yeah, I think it shows.
Arkansas, too. I didn't say Arkansas.
I think it goes to show, like, the current state of college sports and college football specifically. 10 years ago, you could have a mediocre season, and teams aren't going to, go out of their way to pay a $50 million buyout. But now, with NIL, and you're paying the coach and $20+ million for your team, where the fans were the ones calling for firings before, now the people that give you money are the ones calling for coaches to get fired. That forces your hand.
Yeah, who's calling the shots, right? I think also, too, we have seen with the transfer portal, like complete 180s of how programs can go. Not only just win-loss record, but from a culture standpoint, too, with the transfer portal, with NIL, I mean, a new guy can come in. Look at... who was it? I mean, you look at what Dion did at Colorado. Teams can flip so quickly. Vandy is a great example. But I mean, even teams going from losing, 7 to 10 games, all of a sudden next year they're back in bowl game playoff contention. Yeah. There's not. It used to be the mantra of like you get 3 years, right? Yeah. You hire a coach, they come in, they don't have their guys, right? Then they get a first recruiting class under the belt. Now they have some of their guys. And it's not until year 3 that it's really like their program. That's BS. That's not happening anymore, right? Like you get a guy, he should, at least the feeling is, he should be able to make an impact like immediately.
Yeah, especially
which means the leash is shorter.
Especially at a big time school like, Penn State, LSU, Florida. Like, whoever they hire should be able to go and basically get whoever they want from the transfer portal, unless it's, the best player in the country. But, if you're looking for a quarterback, Penn State should be able to pick the guy they want. And unless Florida is looking for the same guy,
that's right,
he should be at Penn State. And same with Florida and same with LSU. Like, name the position, name the player. They should be able to get whoever they want.
That's right. Okay, let's get into it. Some of these jobs, do you have any, Twitter's going crazy. There's tons of media outlets that are throwing names around. I have a few that I feel pretty strongly on, not that I would bet money on, but just maybe something like, feel like that's a good fit. Do you have any, maybe for Penn State, maybe for these other jobs that you really feel is like, okay, come December when the chips start falling, teams either get eliminated from the playoffs or they're in the playoffs and lose. Where do you see these head coaches going?
I think Lane Kiffin is going to leave. I think he's going to go to LSU. I think, when you look at the grand scheme of college football, while Ole Miss is a great job, he's done a great job there. LSU, like, that's a Mount Rushmore job. Like, It doesn't really get any better than that, and they're going to offer him whatever he wants, both salary and resources. I don't see how he turns that down. Penn State, I think, while it was Matt Rule and Cignetti and these guys have gotten extensions with buyouts, I think they're going to go like OC, inexperienced guy, and try and, shoot for the moon like that. I would love Hartline. I think
You want Brian Hartline at Ohio State?
Yeah, I think he's unbelievable. I mean, obviously Ohio State's unbelievable, so it would be a great hire. I think Golish gets one of the jobs. Which one it is, I don't know.
Which one, do you think he would leave though? I mean, okay, it's coach speak, right? But I mean, he's come out plenty of times. It's like, hey, I love where I'm at. I'm looking forward to building. I know everyone says that, but
if you're him, and Florida's like, here's a lot of money, both for your salary and resources, and USF obviously can't match it. They can't recruit against them. Like, how do you say no? Also, you've built USF into a borderline top 25 team this year. Like, you're in Florida already. Like, you've established that you can recruit decently in that state at a school that was essentially nothing before you got there. Now you go to the biggest state school, between them and Florida State.
Totally.
Like, I don't see how you would say no.
I'm with you. I cannot wait to see, obviously, Florida, LSU have both come out and we're like, we want Lane, right? And should he leave, should your prediction be right, he goes to LSU, I can't wait to see like how quickly Florida comes out and goes, oh, we didn't want him. We didn't want him. Or if it's vice versa and he's a Florida Gator, LSU, no, he was, bottom of our list. Because that'll happen. Yeah. They're not going to publicly
They're going to try and save face.
100%. They're not going to publicly claim that they got beat out for their guy. Be interested to see who backfills, right? If Lane is a LSU Tiger, like, is it Golish? Or are they, Marcus Freeman's a name that's been thrown around. One guy that I'm kind of enamored with, and you should be too, because you just predicted his team in the playoff, is Eric Morris, North Texas. He's a guy, if you look at his track record with who he's coached, Patrick Mahomes, other guys as OC and as an assistant coach, he's bound for it, especially if they make the playoffs, right? He's bound for a big-time job.
Absolutely.
I could see him, a Twitter thread that I was following, it was awesome. I could see him at Arkansas, grabbing a guy like that. And obviously, they had a not so great tenure with a guy named Chad Morris, who led them to win like a total of like 4 games in like 4 years. So a little bit of a deja vu / flashback if they get another head coach named Morris. But I think this one will be good. One thing I want to say, James Franklin, obviously one of the first coaches to get fired after losing to a program who had just fired their coach in UCLA. I like him at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I do too.
I really do.
I do too. It seems like that's the way it's going. I think it makes sense for him. Like when he was at Penn State, obviously he recruited heavily in the DMV area. Mm-hmm. It makes sense that he would stay in that area where he already has recruiting ties. I think that's a pretty good program with a good amount of resources. It feels like where he's going to land. And also it's been rumored, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a breaking news or a big statement by any means. I just think the only thing that holds me back on like fully saying he's a Virginia Tech Hokie is he has publicly said like I'm gonna win a national championship. That's my goal. And like, do you really want to? Is Virginia Tech the place to do that? I don't really know.
Virginia Tech might be the place for him to prove himself again because I don't think Florida, LSU, like even Auburn to some extent, like I don't think those teams are really going to go after him, at least not as like their A pick. But if you go to Virginia Tech, all of a sudden you get, turn to a nine-win team in the ACC.
Oh, yeah.
Next time, like next cycle when these jobs do come open again, because obviously they will at some point.
Always will. Probably Florida again.
He'll be a target.
Yeah, 100%. Then you're at those A-tier schools that can really win. That's all I really got. Auburn's an interesting one. LSU, like I said, I think it's Kiffin or bust for them. Their governor getting involved is crazy. But this Auburn coaching search is going to be something because they, way back when said, hey, Gus Malzahn, you're not good enough for us. And they have just whiffed and whiffed and whiffed since then. Very interesting to see who they go because I think they're easily the tier below, just within the SEC. They're the tier below Florida and LSU. And 100%. It's not even close.
100%.
So who can they even get? Because obviously Hugh Freeze wasn't it. No one's going to argue on that one. Interesting to see how it goes. Just more entertainment as the playoffs start, teams start shuffling around, players start shuffling around. Let's close out this episode. Let's talk about what we have this week. While you are sitting on your couch trying to forget what happened in Neyland Stadium last Saturday night, what games are you going to be watching? We've talked a little bit about BYU, Texas Tech. I'm all Texas Tech here. So is Nico. Just changes up a little bit how it goes down the line. Another big one is Texas A&M at Missouri. Any thoughts here? I
mean, I think Texas A&M, Missouri's quarterback destroyed his ankle.
Yeah.
It was tough to see. Plus their backup or their starter, he got hurt in their first game, the first play of the season. They're on QB3. That's not what you want when you're playing top 3 team in the country.
Undefeated. Yeah. So. Could be the best team in the country. I mean, at this point, who knows? I don't like it for Missouri. They're at home. I don't think that really helps them. Upset alert, Oregon at Iowa. Don't know what the line is here.
I believe it was 5.5.
Really intriguing game.
Oregon 6.5.
6.5, so it's moved, but.
Really intriguing.
Yeah. Going to Iowa as a Penn State alum, not an easy place to play. Especially not when you're traveling across the country to do it. Iowa's been playing incredible ball. They play good defense. They've started to put up points. That's definitely an upset watch. I do think Oregon ends up winning that game. It's not going to look pretty, but there's a reason I had Iowa as a dark horse.
Yeah. They're going to have to dig down deep, man. And, I mean, Iowa could easily become one of the best stories of November. All starts on Saturday if it's meant to happen. And then finally, Georgia at Mississippi State. I mean, in conference matchup, I don't really see much of it. Mississippi State plays them tough, though. So, again, don't know what the line is there, but could be a fun matchup. So, anyway.
The line is only 7.5. Georgia 7.5.
Trap line. Anyway, we'll leave you with that. Got a good batch of games on deck. Playoff predictions are in. We can't change them now.
Locked
We're
in.
going to let it ride. We'll see. Fun last month of the college football season is coming up, and we'll be with you the whole way. I'm Thomas. This is Nico. We'll see you next week. Go Vols.